Hey guys, it's me again, Dalton over at gringoguides.com, and this video today is all about mistakes that Spanish speakers make when they try to speak English. So it's kind of like a reversal of the last video I did, and the last video was about English speakers making mistakes in Spanish, so it's kind of the opposite. And actually a blog post about this I put in the description, so feel free to check it out. And so, I mean, I've just kind of had many friends from different Hispanic nations, including Mexico, Spain, Colombia, Uruguay, Argentina. And I mean, they all have their differences, but one thing I've noticed is some of the common mistakes. So let's get to the first one. So one thing I've noticed is some people say, oh, I want to present you. Can I present you to my friends? And that's not correct English. I mean, you probably want to say, oh, let me introduce you to so-and-so, or introducing this. And I kind of understand why they do it, because in Spanish you can say me presento, or te presento a mi amigo Bob. I want to introduce you to my friend Bob. Like presenting is like a way to introduce friends in Spanish, so I can understand why they do it. It's kind of interesting though, but introduce is a better way to say it. And introduce, it does exist in Spanish as introducir, but it's not really used with people. It's used with other things. Like it can be even used to like turn in an assignment or other kind of concepts. I mean, it's in the blog post too. And then another concepts that I've seen Spanish speakers do is they say, oh, I have so many years. Oh, I have cold. I have hunger. And I understand why they do it, because it's like in Spanish they say tengo hambre is like I am hungry, and tengo 24 años is I am 24 years old. So I mean, it's kind of an interesting reason why they do that. And it's kind of interesting though too, because other languages like French and Portuguese, they have this too. Like in French there's a term, it's like j'ai, like j'ai 5 ans, I'm 5 years old. So it's kind of a similar thing. And j'ai faim, I'm hungry. So I mean, it's kind of a similar concept. So they say I have a certain condition. And then also another thing I've noticed too is kind of subject-verb agreement. So sometimes people say, oh, the people is very good here. The people is quite nice. And that's not correct at all. I mean, you want to say the people are very nice here. And I can understand why they do that, because gente is people in Spanish. And you could say la gente es muy amable aquí. The people are very nice here, because gente is it's a singular word in Spanish. It's like familia, so you want to use es, not son. So it's like is, not are. But in English, it's a collective noun. So even though it's just one word, it refers to multiple people. So you want to use are. So that's kind of an interesting too. Just kind of subject-verb agreement can be kind of off. And then another thing I've noticed too is sometimes they drop words. So instead of saying, oh, it's important to study, it's important to try your best, they say, oh, it's important to work hard, it's important to do that. And the reason why I think they do that is because in Spanish, if you want to say it's important to study, you say es importante para estudiar. And that's this literal translation. But es is just is. So a good way for them to kind of work on their English to say it is, just that one contraction, it's good to study, it's important to study. So that's kind of a way to help Spanish speakers learn English. And then another common kind of thing that I've noticed, just foreigners in general, not just Spanish speakers, but I've actually taught a lot of foreign students how to surf. I actually worked at a surf center in San Diego. I taught the college surfing classes for a couple of years. And a lot of them would say, oh, let's make sport. Oh, let's do that. So usually distinguishing between do and make is a kind of a tricky concept for a lot of non-native speakers. And I included in the post just a picture saying, okay, when you should use do versus make. And I mean, I can understand why they do that in Spanish, because hacer is the verb to do or make. It kind of changes meaning based on its context. So if you want to say, oh, I want to wakeboard, you could say quiero hacer wakeboarding. And the hacer is to do wakeboarding, but I can understand why they say to make wakeboarding. And then I'm trying to think. But yeah, another thing too that native speakers make mistakes with when they're trying to learn English is sometimes they don't add the do you, like in the question, like, do you have cats? They say you have cats, but do you would be correct English. So in Spanish it would be tú tienes gatos? Do you have cats? And they just say you. So I mean, they have to be more mindful of those kind of small but important kind of connector words. Well, anyway, that's this video kind of talking about the other side, how native Spanish speakers make common mistakes in English. And thanks for watching. Anyway, please feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and hasta la próxima. Until next time. Thank you.